Welcome, hockey fans, inside Campion Ice House here in Hailey, Idaho, as the Boise State Broncos play host to the Montana State University Bobcats here in Hailey. It's a home game for the Broncos, and it's the third rink that they will be playing a home game at this season. CenturyLink Arena in downtown Boise, and Idaho Ice World off just a few exits away from the campus of Boise State University. Normally our home of the Broncos, but here tonight it is Hailey that plays host. The Broncos and the Bobcats ready. Puck drop underway, won by the Bobcats. And we are ready for hockey here in Hailey tonight. Dylan Broman starting on the first line for Boise State. Puck pushed into the zone by the Bobcats. A shot attempt, and it's in the back of the net. 16 seconds gone by. Haven't even had time to tell you that Kyler Ayers was in net for the Broncos. And it's a rapidly quick goal for the Bobcats, who silence the fans here in Hailey. It was scored by number 6, Ryan Padden. A backhand shot attempt after he snuck past Sven Varnes. And just like that, the Bobcats on the board. And they lead the Broncos 1-0. That face-off by one by Michael Carranza of Boise State. It's on the near side with Valerie Dietz. Valerie Dietz goes far side to Eric Pinsky. Pinsky slides one for Carranza. Just out of his reach, it ends up behind the net. Now Justin Jones on it for his backhander. Paddled away. That's Patrick Hailey in net tonight for the blue of the Bobcats. The blue, gold, and white uniforms. Meanwhile, Broncos in their home whites with the blue shoulders. Pinsky, St. Luke's side. Carries it through the shadow of the boards. Flung across to number 93, Jones. Valerie Dietz picks it up in the zone. He'll try to toe drag a defender. That defender being Sam Coulter. It's flipped up and out of the zone. Here come the Bobcats on the near side. They make a move. Shot misses the net on Kyler Ayers. Bobcats collect behind the net. Now it's fought for. Montana State does win the puck battle. Left point. Now skitters out to the right point and out of the zone. It was Jim Steelstad, who had his pass blocked. Near side boards here, fought for both teams. A whipped pass from Steelstad. That'll turn into an offensive opportunity for the Broncos. They enter the zone with Fedrea. Fedrea shoved off the puck as Daniel Davis gets it out to the left point for Boise State on the far side. Stinson in front. Oh! An opportunity for Boise State there, but the stick of Travis Alexander couldn't connect. That shot turned away by Hailey. Near side boards kept in, gloved. It hit the glove, at least, of number 2, Daniel Davis. And the Bobcats skate it. Davis checked and taken to the ice at center, just barely over the halfway line. 17:50 remaining in period number 1. Bobcats already on the board, leading the Broncos 1-0. As Garrett Fitzgerald feeds one back to Sven Varnes. Chipped into the zone on the near side by Matthew Johnson. Now behind the net, Bobcats looking for a breakout. It's the forecheck of Pinsky that knocks the puck up into the netting right here at center ice. And it goes out of play. We'll have a face-off just outside the Bobcats zone on the Broncos' right side, Bobcats' left. Sven Varnes feeds over to Griffin Ames. Griffin Ames rifles it into the zone. It ends up on the pad of Hailey, who kicks it out into the corner on the right side next to the Whiteheads landscaping board. Carranza walks away with it. He's on a bit of a drought, a goal-scoring drought to be certain. 8 games without a goal for Michael Carranza. He tries to feed one to Pinsky. Griffin Ames with it. Griffin Ames point shot deflected in front and swept away. The puck was in a dangerous area right next to the crease. Jones banks one to himself and takes it back behind his net, slides it over for Sven Varnes. Varnes over to Griffin Ames. Broncos looking to break out. Ames going to carry. He's got Pinsky and Carranza with him. Ames all alone, walks in, tries for the wraparound. Can't get it to come off. It goes out. Doesn't clear the zone all the way. Carranza now has it right corner. Carranza for Boise State. Carranza looking for a pass. Banks it to Ames. Ames, left point shot. Lots of traffic in front. Makes it through, but not on net. Valerie Dietz now here on the near side. Tons of fans in attendance here at Campion Ice House as Carranza skates it out. Dietz forced to shoot it up, and it ends up next to some fans hanging out in line trying to get some refreshments. So we'll have another face-off. Believe it'll stay in the Bronco offensive zone. Indeed, that face-off will be in the Bronco offensive zone. It'll be Dustin Truex taking the draw for Boise State. However, he will lose it to Ryan Paris of the Bobcats. That puck yanked out, down across two lines as it rolls around behind the cage of Ayers. Icing will take it right back to where it was with 16 minutes on the clock. Truex again against Paris, and this time Truex wins it. Thomas Poland collects it all the way back in his defensive zone. His pass to Broman nearly intercepted. Truex snags it out of the sky with the right glove. Truex moving in. Behind the net, shovels a backhander that got to the net and was denied by Hailey. Broncos forecheck does well to win it back, but then a pass played between both defensemen will force the Broncos to fall back and regroup with 15:52 on the clock. Here in period number one, Bobcats leading the Broncos by 1. It was Ryan Patton's backhander that got things started 16 seconds into the game. Here comes Valerie Dietz pushing it ahead. Dietz taken down by Lance Matheson of Montana State. Bobcats bank it out of the zone. Dietz collects it for Boise State. Turn around and flung in by Austin Fedrea. It's on the near side with Boise State. Stinson trying to feed one in front to Travis Alexander. Onside play there is Mitchell Hodges. Sends it in. Shot off the blocker. Clattering of sticks between Stinson and number 8, Josiah Pilskins. As Mitchell Hodges goes, collects, carries. Shot misses the net. Kuna there for Boise State. That's Raleigh Kuna. Montana State again clears the puck. The Broncos with the better of possession in the past couple of minutes. Icing with 14:33 on the clock. Broncos will be forced to keep their lines out there. Montana State offensive zone face-off coming up. They lead it 1-0 over Boise State. Draw one by the Bobcats. They walk in on the net. Kyler Ayers made a save, and the net comes off its moorings. Mitchell Hodges and number 4, Josh Hubert. No, excuse me, that is not number 4. That is the assistant captain, number 6, Ryan Patton. And they're going to take this face-off out of the zone, so the Broncos get a bit lucky there. They'll have the second line out on the ice, Carranza, Pinsky, and Jones. Montana State wins the face-off to Ben Carlson, who pushes the puck into the zone. Nearly a defensive zone turnover there by Griffin Ames. Pinsky collects far side, just short of center ice. Carlson and Marnus sticks collide. Puck ends up in the Bronco bench. We'll have a face-off just in front of the Boise State bench. 14:09 on the clock here in period number 1. Yet another draw, one by the blue and goal. The dump in nearly on net. Ayers forced to poke it away. A great pass out to the doorstep for Britt Cornier. Could not get a stick on it. It was too hot to handle. Carranza sends it out. Only goes as far as the right point. Chip back in. It's the captain, number 23. Ayers makes the save on the backhand attempt. It's almost kept in, and there's going to be an offsides play against the Bobcats. So we'll come out of the Bronco defensive zone. A near side face-off. Advanced position for Montana State, but not inside the Broncos zone just yet. Truex versus Nick Stelmack. Truex wins the draw for Boise State. Thomas Poland with the puck now. Here comes Brandon Benson, lugging it through. Slides it off the boards where it goes caroming around for Truex. He's nudged off it. It comes out and around. It was touched by the Bobcats, so no icing as Valerie Dietz comes and collects with 13:17 on the clock. Broncos setting up their offense behind the net with Dietz. Benson gets it, skates it backwards just a bit, finding the cross-ice pass to Poland. Bobcats intercept. Only one member in the zone for them at the moment. Now the reinforcements arrive. Here come the cavalry. Behind the net, a struggle, a battle, and it's Poland who comes away with it, but his pass is blocked by Lance Matheson. Dietz trying to chip it away, finds the half boards, but two Bobcats at those half boards don't allow the Broncos to get the puck out. Benson slings one across. It actually ends up as a great pass to the right point. Now moved over to the left point for the Bobcats. Shot blocked. Benson with it now. Benson over to Poland on the far side, trying to relieve the pressure. He saucers one back to Benson, who tries to cup it in his hands. Tape to Fedrea, but it's too heavy. Great forecheck there by Broman. Keeps it in the zone. His shot off the skate of Fedrea, rifled around the boards, only as far as Hodges. Hodges shot off the pads. Fedrea trying to stick it in on the rebound. He couldn't get a stick on it. Out to Raleigh Kuna at center ice. He'll cross the line, hit the referee with his dump attempt, so Stinson gets it now. Over to Alexander. Pass back to Stinson in the glove of Hailey, who barely made that save. Now Raleigh Kuna. Stinson chips it back for number 21, Mitchell Hodges. The Broncos send it down, but too far. And it's yet another icing. 11:35 on the clock. And Stinson nearly tied the game back up for Boise State. Stinson got that great pass from Alexander out in front of the net and tried to put it home. This puck on the near side with Montana State. Banked off the far side boards over by the Apollo Construction side, which is just inside the MSU defensive zone at the moment. Kuna out to center ice. It's not controlled very well by Matthew Johnson. And in the end, Bobcats come away with it. Great poke there by Griffin Ames. His stick breaks up the Bobcat attack. It's yet again chipped off the boards. One behind the net by the Bobcats, thrown out. Clapper from the point hits the stick of Garrett Fitzgerald. He loses his stick. And we're going to have a stoppage, I believe, for a hand pass. Indeed, a hand pass, the call. Garrett Fitzgerald had his stick blasted out of his hands on the slap shot from Daniel Davis. And then caught the puck and tried to pass it out. Griffin Ames with the puck off the face-off win for Boise State. Collision here on the near side. Out in front, one-timer for the Bobcats. Kyler Ayers there to turn it away. It's kept on the far side between the legs, and a nifty pass to the right point. Shot comes through. Ayers saw it through the traffic, but it never hit the net regardless. Mitchell Hodges sent down to the ground. It's a tie-up over on the far side half boards. 10:05 to play in period number one. Squeaks through the skates of Ross Jewell. who's trying to pinch it in at the near side point. Chipped forward by Sam Coulter. Sven Marnis collects for Boise State and manages just barely to get it out of the zone before the Bobcats quickly turn it back in by their captain, Ryan Pirius. Boise State skating with it near side. Michael Carranza of the Broncos and Eric Pinsky over on the far side had gone off sides. So Boise State forced to stop their attack and bring it back out to center ice, or just in front of center ice here on the near side. 9:39 on the clock. Carranza in the circle against Ryan Herman. And after the tie-up, it's the blue jerseys of the Bobcats that come away with the puck. Huge hit. Absolutely going to be a penalty as Griffin Ames is down on the ground in a lot of pain. And I would not be surprised to see at least a 5-minute major, if not a game misconduct, for either checking from behind or boarding on that one, because Griffin Ames had his back completely turned to that play and was unloaded on. It's number 42, Lance Matheson, who's going to the box. Griffin Ames still in a world of hurt. He can barely stand. I can't imagine that this wouldn't be a game misconduct, as that was an unbelievably dirty hit laid on Griffin Ames there. Trying to speak as unbiasedly as possible about that, but there was simply no need for that. And indeed, Lance Matheson will skate back to the locker room. His night is over. A game misconduct. The scoreboard at the moment showing a 2-minute penalty. I would expect that to be changed to a 5-minute major. So Lance Matheson has been removed from the game for his hit on Griffin Ames. Griffin Ames was also just helped to the locker room. He was struggling to stand. And with 9:26 left on the clock, extremely unfortunate for Boise State to lose one of their top defensemen. It looks like they're trying to clean some blood off the ice, which is very scary. That hit was very similar to the one that was dished out to the Sharks' Joe Pavelski last season in the NHL playoffs. It left Pavelski with part of a fractured skull as he was bleeding from his head after the hit. So it's a 5-minute major and a game misconduct as well for Lance Matheson. The Broncos are now on the power play as the puck rifled down on net. Kyler Ayers stops it with the stick and flings it up in the air towards Justin Jones. Boise State will have 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the major as Pinsky skates it forward. Far side left wing to Benson. Benson slides one through to Jones. He tips it on net. It does not go. He misses the net. And a stoppage up into the net and removed from the offensive zone for Boise State. It's Carranza, Benson, Marnis, Jones, and Pinsky, the 5 on the Bronco power play. It's one to Jones. Jones chips a backhander in behind the net. Marnis chasing it, can't get there. Jones is the first to receive it after MSU touches it up. Benson holding. Benson to Jones. Jones drags through behind the net looking for a pass. Sticks go down. He finds left point Eric Pinsky. Now right point Michael Carranza. Carranza back to Pinsky, who's waiting in the middle. Benson over to Jones. Jones wrist shot denied by Hailey. Pinsky ends up with it back on the far side point. Carranza can't control it, and it's a diving breakup by Grant Eppel. Bobcats finally win the puck, go for a change with 3:45 remaining on the power play, 8-10 in period number 1. Boise State looking to get at least one here on the 5-minute major. Benson. Far side, Eric Pinsky. Pinsky to the center to Michael Carranza. Carranza can't dish it off. Benson whiffed on the shot attempt. He feeds it over to Carranza. Now Dustin Truex drops it back for Carranza. Carranza's wrist shot, trying to hit Broman's stick in front. Flung off the boards and back down the ice. Everyone will go for a change, except for Truex. 3 minutes remaining on the Bronco power play. Down in the zone, slung off the boards. It's in the near side corner with Boise State. They try to send it back around. 26 versus 26. Fedrea for Boise State. And the Bobcats manage to get it out of the zone. Ayers out of the crease to stop it behind the net. Forecheck coming from Ryan Patton. The goal scorer, he feeds one out in front. Ayers has to turn it away. A fantastic shorthanded opportunity for the Bobcats. Skated in by Carranza. Carranza to the backhand. Carranza poke checked and lost it. Poland high slot, slap shot teed up, saved by Hailey into the far side corner. Broman manages to get a stick on it, sends it back down behind the net. Bronco forecheck does his job. Carranza, right side faceoff circle into the chest of Hailey, and Broman converts on the rebound. It's Dylan Broman who gets a power play goal. With 6:30 on the clock, the Broncos have tied this thing back up, and they still have 2:03 remaining on the 5-minute major. It was the shot by Michael Carranza, and then it was Dylan Broman who put it away off the rebound on the pads of Hailey. Boise State tied 1-1, and this arena is absolutely packed. 2 minutes left on the Boise State power play. Jones chops one out of the air as it's sent back to Pinsky, and the Bronco power play will get ready. You hear the cheers from the crowd. Truex leaves it for Benson, who overskates it before it's sent down. Ayers puts the stick down, flings it. Oh, what a snag by number 23, Ryan Pierce, the captain of the Bobcats. That kills some valuable time for his club as Benson skates it behind his net. He's poked away. Pierce doing it all by himself on the forecheck. Now Benson hits some space, and he's yet again dispossessed. Near side, Sven Marnus of Boise State stopped behind the cage of MSU by their goaltender, Patrick Hailey. He careens one off the boards out to the Bronco end. 1 minute remaining on the Boise State power play. They've converted a goal already, but because it's a 5-minute major, it ends when the time runs out, not when goals are scored. You can score as many as you want on a 5-minute major. Broncos hoping they can get another with 43 seconds left. 5:08 in the period. Pinsky through center ice. Truex left wing. It's skittering around. Here comes Pinsky near side. Out in front to number 12, Michael Carranza, who's bumped off the puck. Far side saucer, left point with Stinson. Pinsky, wrist shot hit Carranza's stick, but Healy's pads there to deny. It's sent down yet again on Ayers. It seems every clearance is finding his stick. Pinsky collects. There's 10 seconds left on the Boise State power play. Here comes Carranza. Pants covered in snow. Thanks to going down to the ice. Pass called for by Alexander. Carranza found him, but Alexander couldn't convert with the stick. And we're getting a stoppage as the net, Patrick Hailey's net of Montana State, came off the moorings. 4:24 on the clock here in Hailey. Bronco bench, one short. So is the Bobcat bench. Broncos win. The face-off, Valerie Dietz decides to take the one-timer. He misses the net. Heiley covers it off the bank on the boards. So we'll have yet another face-off. The clock is running, and now it stops. There should be 4:18 left on that clock, but it ticked down to 4:14. So 4 seconds gone off the clock there. Alexander tries to force a shot through lots of legs. He ends up getting the puck back before being stripped. Here comes Montana State walking through a breakaway 5-hole goal for the Bobcats. It's number 21, Zach Lane. And Ayers beaten for the second time this period. And right after the Bronco power play expires, when we get back to even strength, Bobcats waste no time in gaining their lead back. It's a 2-1 game now here in Hailey. Truex versus Herman in the circle. Boise State fighting for it near side. They have it. Slap shot comes in, kicked out right in front. Truex with it, slings one in. Out of the net for Montana State is Hailey. Broncos forecheck trying to keep the puck in their offensive zone. They can't do it. Hodges backs off. Awaits a pass, doesn't get it. Instead it goes to Truex at the red line. Kuna, backhand shovel. 3:37 remaining in this period number one that has seen 3 goals. Pinsky intercepts a pass. The Bobcats skating it in. Offsides is the call against Britt Cornier. It was Josiah Pilscollins who was skating it up and decided to make a move that led Cornier offsides. Jones does well blocking the pass of Coulter. Then they collide. It's between some skates. Now it's with Carranza near side half boards. Carranza cycles it back to Jones, who windmills at it. Sven Marnis right point. Left point Thomas Pullen. It stayed in. Wrist shot blocked in front. Coulter goes down to the ice to deny it. Pinsky behind the net. Eric Pinsky of Boise State. Bobcats managed to take it away and start skating. It's the captain. It's chipped at and then taken by Cornier. Cornier still has it. He tries to feed one out in front, and he had the pass, but Paris wasn't ready for it. Benson circles back and slides to Poland. Poland looking forward. Sends it to Broman. Broman tips it. It's on its side. A fake slap out of the zone, but Truex read it on the far side and got it back. Benson waiting, searching for something. He finds it. It's Hodges. And Hodges' shot turned away by Hailey. Benson yet again. A one-timer. It's in the back of the net. Dustin Truex ties this thing up off a beautiful feed from Brandon Benson. With 2:10 on the clock here in the first period, things are knotted back at 2 as Boise State gets a goal from the outstanding freshman Dustin Truex. What a period this has been, treating the fans here in Hailey to all sorts of action, and maybe more still to come. Stinson can't drag it through his own legs. Bobcats on the attack. Nice nifty drop off and a cross crease saucer. Slap pass. Far side boards. Montana State with possession. Valerie Dietz of the Broncos breaking that up. Oh, Brandon Benson to Dustin Truex is the connection that has us all tied with 1:37 remaining. Broncos still looking to get it out of the zone. Hand pass, the call. So we will come out of the zone, I do believe. No, hand pass against Boise State. So it will stay in the attacking zone for MSU. Shots on goal well in favor of Boise State, 12-5. Broncos leading the Bobcats in shots. Hodges blocks one, or maybe even Cornier blocked that one. Eric Pinsky off the bench, straight into the path of the oncoming puck. Carranza on the forecheck, gets it back with a little help from Pinsky. Carranza shot off the net, and then Pinsky put it off the side of the cage before it was covered up by Patrick Hailey, the Bobcat goaltender. 1:09 remaining here in the first period. 4 goals to speak of, 2 on both sides. Patton and Lane for MSU. Dylan Broman and Dustin Truex for your Boise State Broncos. Bobcat possession turned over to Raleigh Kuna, who slings it in. Rolls here on the near side. Bobcats trying to just get it out of the zone. They do that, and then Marnus' dump attempt is blocked. Pinsky trying to one-hand a puck into the zone. Marnus feeds it to him. Pinsky tries to feed it back, and the pass is blocked, chipped forward and ahead. But Broncos reading that one with 2 defensemen. Carranza banks. The idea was Pinsky. It never got there. Now it reaches Pinsky on the half-boards near side. He's pinned and held there. Bobcats trying to come in. Benson, the captain, takes it out of the zone accidentally. Did not mean to do that, I'm certain, as Carranza is bumped. A flip forward. Now Herman of the Bobcats, far side skating as time expires here in period number 1. Things are tied at 2 apiece. Bobcats and Broncos both with 2. Griffin Ames still in the locker room. And Lance Matheson done for the game due to the game misconduct. We'll be back with the second period in just 20 minutes. Keep it here. You're watching Bronco Hockey on YouTube. Both teams are back out on the ice here at Campion Ice House, where the crowd has seemingly expanded in size. After a high-flying first period, things are tied at 2 apiece. And during that intermission, able to go down, get word from the Bronco locker room that Griffin Ames, the defender who was injured in the game misconduct penalty by Lance Matheson, will not be returning. First signs seem to be a concussion for Ames, so he will be kept off the ice. And the blood was from a cut on the lips. So other than the concussion, or at least what is thought to be a concussion at the moment, Ames is doing okay. Pass from Pinsky sent through center, but no Broncos able to get on the end of it. So missing Ames is big for the Broncos, as he normally is out here with Sven Marnis on the first line defense pairing. Wrist shot, far side, turned away. Kyler Ayers gets the blocker to it. It's behind the net, collected by Michael Carranza. Near side, skating it, moving into Pinsky. Pinsky gets it through his legs, drops a Bobcat, gets it into the zone. Still fighting for it. Carranza backhand poked away, but only as far as Brandon Benson over near the Bronco bench on the far side. That may be a trip. No, Benson not going to be credited with a trip. It's 2-on-2 here in favor of the Bobcats. Wrist shot yet again, missing the net. That one was wrung off the glass. Kyler Ayers didn't have to get a piece of it. Through the legs of Dustin Truex, who may have had an opportunity. The dump hits the referee of Poland, and then two Bobcats take each other out. 15 and 18, Britt Cornier, number 15, Grant Eppel, number 18, who get into the collision. Here comes Truex, skating center ice, lugging it through. Slides it to Broman. Broman loses it. Truex there on the forecheck. A nifty one-handed pass from Broman, but it doesn't find the stick of Brandon Benson. 17:54 on the clock. 2-2 game in the second period here at Campion Ice World. Benson backhander. Broman couldn't tuck it in at the back post. Another missed opportunity. Tipped in front. Benson shot over the net on the redirect, and then checked off the puck by Jordan Douglas. Here come the Bobcats, pushing it forward, and instead electing to go for a change is the left winger of the blue and gold. It's back in the zone and corralled behind the net. Here comes Boise State, Thomas Poland. Alexander got a stick to it, but not enough. And they're going to call icing here, so we'll bring it back. Sven Marnis. No, excuse me. Raleigh Kuna going to be forced to come back off the ice. 17:10 remaining in period number 2. An offensive zone face-off for the Bobcats. Long change for both teams here in the second period. The bench is very far away from their defensive ends, so we'll see how the defensemen handle that. Valerie Dietz, a defenseman. He slings one over the net and high of the catching glove of Hailey. The collision at the Mahoney's board sends the puck up into the netting on the far side. Out of play, 16:54 on the clock. Bronco offensive zone face-up on its way. Kendall Olson in the circle for Boise State. Loses the draw to Zach Lane, who has a goal in this game. Odd man rush. Here come the Bobcats. 2-on-1. Lane into the glove of Ayers, and then Ayers denies a Bobcat on the rebound. It was number 25, Ben Carlson, who had the second shot opportunity that Ayers turned away with the pad. Matthew Johnson checked off the puck, and it's flipped up in to the Bronco defensive zone. Kuna moves it. Icing being waved off by the linesman. Montana State skates with it. Chip forward. Pinsky chops it out of the sky for Boise State. Now Carranza for the Broncos. One-handed windmill. He's got lots of options if he can get to this puck. He does. Gets it to Jones. Jones out in front of Pinsky. Pinsky off the right skate and can't find it back to the left-handed shot that he wanted. Pinsky will end up collecting the puck after it goes off a couple of players. Carranza blocks the pass with the skate. Jones looking dangerous. And the net came off its mooring. Jones to Carranza. Carranza trying to break the goal drought and not sure if Hailey knocked that off the net. Knocked the net off its moorings, or if it was the flash of the pad when he made the kick save. But what an opportunity it was for Boise State. Two-two game here with 15:30 remaining in the second period. The Bobcats look to get it out of their zone. Here comes Mitchell Hodges sprinting up. Carranza gets one to Jones. Jones on his backhand, pulls it forward, tries to find one to Pinsky. Pinsky's left-handed shot finds the back of the net. And Eric Pinsky's fired up. It's a goal for Pinsky, and the Broncos have the lead over the Bobcats here in the second, thanks to the wrist shot of Eric Pinsky. And who else could it be for Boise State to come through and give them the lead other than the assistant captain, Eric Pinsky? Leads the team in goals, put up 5 in a 7-2 victory versus Northern Colorado. He put up a hat trick in the Broncos showcase against Williston State University Tetons as Benson gets clobbered. He was on his side and taken down. The Broncos had a breakaway, and Truex goes slamming into the boards. He's got an injured shoulder for certain. Benson takes the puck away on the forecheck, but because Truex is down, we're going to get a whistle. And Truex is a guy who has battled through shoulder injury after shoulder injury this season, so seeing him go crashing into the boards at light speed is not a pleasant sight for Bronco fans as he looks to skate it off. He had a breakaway opportunity. He missed the net with the shot. He is in a lot of pain, grimacing and shaking out his shoulder. Broncos already lost Griffin Ames due to a boarding hit that got Lance Matheson removed from the game. With 14:30 remaining, it's getting very chippy. Pinsky sends it back to Kuna. Kuna double team. Gets it to Pinsky near side. Eric Pinsky of the Boise State Broncos skating, firing a shot that goes wide. It ends up with Benson on the right point. Here comes Padden. Padden moving it forward. Kuna there forces him to make a pass that's intercepted by the Broncos as they dump it in. 14 minutes exactly on the clock here as Bobcats thought they might have got a breakaway on the near side with Zach Lane. Instead, they chip it in, and it's covered up by the BSU goaltender Kyler Ayers. Puck dumped down the ice, and it will be icing as Stinson cannot get there in time. Shots on goal, 14-9 in favor of Boise State. The Broncos have a 3-2 lead over the Bobcats, and we have 13:46 remaining in period number 2. Fedrea in the circle for the blue and white. Nick Stomack in the circle for the blue and gold visitors. And it's out in front. Dangerous area. Nearly ended up on the pad of Kyler Ayers. Now it's behind the net. Near side corner. Broncos spin it out. It doesn't exit the zone. Now it does. And here's a 2-on-1 in favor of Boise State. Alexander into the glove. Great save by Hailey. Poland keeps it in at the blue line. 13-15 remaining. Broncos had a fantastic opportunity to double their lead. It was Travis Alexander and Mitchell Hodges on the rush. Alexander took it on his own, and he was denied. Patrick Hailey, glove hand save. Icing brings it back down into the Bronco offensive zone. Montana State forced to bring their players back on the ice. Jones trying to fight through to get to the face-off draw. That one sent flying to Valerie Dietz. Sven Marnus near side. Marnus now far side to Jones. Broncos have numbers in advantage. It's Pinsky who can't control it. It was Marnus calling for the puck, but Pinsky took it away from his own teammate. Jones chips it to Carranza. Carranza feathers it back to Jones. Shuffleboarded away. Now carried by the Bobcats. Davis pushes it forward. Davis stuck to the boards. Comes Cornier. Now near side half boards Eric Pinsky. He'll carry along the shadow of the boards. Bank a great pass to Jones. Jones windmill dig. Jones in the zone. Slap shot off the pad. Pinsky trying to find it out of the air. He's stuck and pinned against the boards, and the puck comes out to Mitchell Hodges at center ice for Boise State. He'll sling it in. He yanked that one. And then the captain goes down. Benson on the doorstep. He falls trying to make a move. Boise State looking very dangerous in period number 2 as Pinsky's pass was blocked off. Pinsky goes for a change. Hodges again caroms one off the glass above the net. Truex back out there. Good to see for Boise State. Truex on the puck. Now he's looking for a pass, but it's a good stick that stops him. Boise State still in possession. Cycling the puck. Benson goes down yet again. Broman making a long run towards the puck. It is scooped into the sky. And it's a hand pass against Raleigh Kuna of the Broncos with 11:20 on the clock, and the Broncos up by 1. Neutral zone face-off. Advanced position in favor of the Bobcats in this neutral zone face-off, as well as on the far side. Zach Lane in the circle against Truex. Truex ejected, as well as Lane, so it's Patton versus Benson now. And it's Ryan Patton getting the better of Brandon Benson. But the Broncos come away with possession, not for long. Wrist shot, glove save. Kyler Ayers has it, traps it, stops it. 11:09 on the clock. Extracurriculars after the whistle, broken up by the referee and a linesman. Offensive zone face-off upcoming for the Bobcats. Truex and Lane in the circle once more. They'll do this dance again. And it's a tie-up, draw won by Boise State, so credit Dustin Truex with a face-off victory. Near side, right point, shot blocked. There were lots of bodies there just trying to get it on net. Where the Bobcats backhander as he's falling to the ground. What a pass. And we got a whistle. Benson and Ross Jewell getting into it. I believe Benson's going to the box. Indeed, he is. Brandon Benson headed to the box. Let's see what the call is. 2 minutes for tripping against Brandon Benson. As Zach Lane was sent crashing down to the ice, he managed to lay off a backhand pass that his teammate could not convert. So first power play of the game here in the second period for Montana State. Center ice, high slot, just about, now left point. Bobcats moving it around. Padden chips it up, 10:40 on the clock. 10 seconds gone on the power play already. Chipped back to Padden, saucered over, right point. Can they keep it in? Yes. The Bobcats bank it off the boards. It's fought for in the corner. There's three players. Cross ice pass, cross crease denied. Kyler Ayers slides over just in time. Carranza trying with Sven Marnis to get it out for Boise State. It's number 23, Ryan Paris. Lines up a slap shot, fakes it. Padden. Paris calling for it right back. This time, wrist shot, traffic in front. It was deflected, and Ayers didn't see it, but it missed the net. Valerie Dietz loses the battle for the puck at the moment, and indeed, the Bobcats keep possession. It's sent back down to Lane, who's in the half corner far side. Montana State with possession. Padden, far side face-off circle. Now back to left point, now center. Shot into the chest of Ayers. It's dropped, and the scramble in front results in a Bobcat goal. I thought that might have been kicked into the net, but it's a good goal. And I believe, yes indeed, it's Zach Lane with his second of the game. A power play goal for the Bobcats after the Brandon Benson tripping penalty, and we are all tied at 3 here in Hailey. Fedrea dumped after the faceoff. Possession with Montana State. And now Thomas Pullen of Boise State. It was Ryan Lane with the goal. Credit Ryan Padden with the assist. It was his wrist shot from the blue line. Puck set down to the Broncos zone. Mitchell Hodges first to get there. He's playing on the first line defensive pairing. Thanks to the injury to Griffin Ames after a brutal hit. An illegal hit, I should add. Great pass through, and it goes past 3 Montana State sticks before finally ending up in their own defensive zone where it's sent around the board. Speared forward. Carranza blocks it. He's dealt a blow, but manages to get it across to Pinsky. These cross-ice passes for both teams coming at a rapid rate. Jones slaps it into the Boise State bench, so we'll get a face-off most likely at center ice with 8:32 remaining here in the second period. Zach Lane has us all tied up. And that face-off tied up for a long time between Carranza and Orrin Herman of Montana State. Now behind the Bobcat cage with their goalkeeper, Patrick Hailey. Carranza stops it. He's checked by Herman. Carranza will return the favor just a little bit as they try to fight for the puck. They're on the far side boards. Carranza does manage to get it away. Pinsky turns one on net. Hailey stands tall, closes the pads as he was down in the butterfly. Jones, active stick, pokes it away from Herman. Sven Marnis gets it in. That one hit the netting, and we'll get a stoppage. Offensive zone face-off for Boise State in the works with 7:45 here to play in the second. Benson, Truex, Broman, Dietz, Hodges out on the ice for Boise State at the moment. Zach Lane in the face-off circle, and he wins it to his left winger, Ben Carlson. Broncos keep it in the zone with the attempt on net by Valerie Dietz. Not much mustard on that one, and it's an easy save as the Bobcats move it up. Carlson on the near side had brought it forward, and it was taken offsides, or excuse me, it was offsides on Zach Lane, who was skating in the middle of the ice. As the DJ here at Campion Ice House is letting everyone know that the Backstreet Boys are back. Bobcats are back in their offensive zone, trying to come away with the puck. They do not. Instead, Mitchell Hodges of Boise State collects it. Brandon Benson, far side, Brandon Benson, high slot, Banner Benson, wrist shot, turned away yet again. Hailey's been busy. Benson on the ice, reaching a stick out. Knocked down. 2 lines go by, so it'll be icing with 6:57 yet to play here in period number 2. Broncos will bring it back down into their offensive zone. Bobcats will be forced to leave their lines out there on the ice. Truex maybe wins the faceoff. Yes, indeed he does. Brandon Benson with it now, right point, his pass. What a play by Thomas Pullen, and his wrist shot low and kneed away by Hailey. Montana State looking to break out of their own zone. They're at center ice. Pass fanned on. And Valerie Dietz has it on the near side face-off circle. Brandon Benson flips forward. Benson scoops it up with his hand and then carries it into the zone before sending it into the corner where Caleb Stinson retrieves it. He throws one on the doorstep, but nobody home when he knocked. Near side corner. Flipped into the air. Great job at the right point here by Sam Coulter to keep it in. Opportunity for Jewell. His shot flies over the cage. Benson trying to chase down that puck. Jewell manages to send it back in on the shot attempt. Carlson dispossessed of the puck. Left point again. Jewell slap shot blocked in front by Brandon Benson. And Jewell will tie him up just a little bit. Those two had words earlier in the game. 6:30 on the clock. 3-3 game. A home game for Boise State, not in their home city, however, as we're out here in Hailey, Idaho at Campion Ice World. Travis Alexander far boards, eases into the check, and we've got a penalty. It's a boarding penalty going against the Bobcats. It's number 24, Sam Coulter. So he heads to the box. 2 minutes for boarding for him. Only the second power play of the game for the Broncos. It's been a clean game so far as we have 6:16 remaining. There was a dirty, vicious hit on Griffin Ames in the first period that resulted in a game misconduct and a 5-minute major for Boise State. That was Lance Matheson who hit Ames, and he was promptly escorted to the locker room. Only the second power play of the game for the Broncos. They are 1 for 1 as Brandon Benson gets dispossessed of his stick. Hailey makes a snag on Carranza's shot from the right point. And there's 1:48 remaining on the Boise State power play as the Broncos register their 19th shot on goal here in this game. Carranza tipped by the stick of Jones. Jones now near side, face-off circle, Truex, long pass, cross ice to Carranza. Center ice, Pinsky at the blue line. Truex through his skates. Gets it to Jones behind the net. Jones backs to Truex. Truex searching for a cross ice pass. Instead goes to Pinsky. Pinsky goes to Carranza far side. Carranza back to Pinsky at blue line. Sent in front. It was a pass more than a shot. It made it all the way through the traffic. Carranza collects. Pinsky. Pinsky again looking for a wrister. No. Instead goes to Truex. The right-handed shot on the near side. Carranza's left-handed shot over there on the far side. And the left-handed shot of Pinsky. Power playing. Truex into the chest. He had all sorts of corners to pick and instead could only find the chest of Patrick Hailey. What a passing play it was. Eric Pinsky quarterbacking it. Found its way to Jones in the middle. Jones goes over to Truex, and Truex had all the time from the near face-off circle, but his shot was into the chest. Saw Pinsky say some things that we probably can't say here over the airwaves about that missed chance. Slap shot one-timer from 2X. This time he just misses the net completely, and the Broncos have to chase it back. 5:03 on the clock. Carranza turns and dumps the chasing Bobcat. Benson knocked off the puck. 35 seconds left on Boise State's power play. It's with Dustin Truex. Slides the one over to Pinsky. Pinsky left point. Lifts a shot over the diving Herman, but it never made it to the net. He lifted it too high. Carranza, right side blue line, circles back with it. Pinsky has to play it forward quickly. Truex. Truex has tons of space over here on the near side. Truex slides one that doesn't come off. 13 seconds left. Pinsky right point, moving back to center. Carranza right point. Pinsky left side point. Arm is up. I believe we got a penalty away from the play. No reason for that to stop. That puck certainly did not come off sides, but I think Fedrea is going to the box here. Indeed, he is out in front of the net, but coincidental minors, it looks to be, because Austin Fedrea is in the box for the Broncos, but so is number 30 of Montana State, who is unlisted on their roster, unfortunately, so I can't give you a name. Lots of names I haven't called that I could speculate, but not to be sure, so we'll leave it at number 30 of Montana State in the box. Shot by Alexander into the glove. No rebound allowed by Hailey. The Bronco power play is now over. So Boise State 1 for 2 on the power play in this game. It's still tied, all knotted up at 3 here at Campion Ice House in Hailey, Idaho. Dietz, the one-timer, just didn't get the connection he wanted in the high slot. Caleb Stinson fighting for it with Sam Coulter. Other bodies getting involved, then it's flung out. Sven Marnis keeps it in the zone at the left point. Out in front and out of position was Hailey as that pass was deflected, but here's a one-on-one. Stopping up for Montana State is Ryan Padden, and then his pass doesn't come through. Padden back with it now. One-timer misses the net. Ayers reached out the glove, and he still couldn't get it. Backhander off the pads. The rebound out in a dangerous position in the slot. It's flung towards the net, and Ayers manages to cover with 3:38 remaining here in the second period. 22 shots on goal for the Boise State Broncos. That shot right there, the 14th of the game for Montana State. We're all tied at 3. Both goalies have had to stay busy, making all sorts of saves. Carranza versus the captain, Ryan Pierce of the Bobcats, and Ryan Pierce wins it. Pinsky, though, collects the puck. It's a 2-on-1, more of a 2-on-2. Pinsky trying to pick the short side left corner, and he is denied by the blocker. Up into the netting. Just 11 seconds since our last faceoff. It's the same two in the circle, and it's the same result, but this time in his defensive zone. Pierce wins it back to his tendy, Patrick Hailey, who covers and will do the same thing from the same exact spot. Just 3 seconds gone by. Yet again, Pierce gets the best of Carranza. Boise State has struggled all year so far in the face-off circle. Have not been able to win draws, especially in the offensive zone. Nifty move there to get the puck. And then it's flipped out, but it crosses both lines. It's icing. So we'll go right back with 3:06 left on the clock. But this time, just a tad different as we're in the far side face-off circle for this draw. It's the same two, Pierce and Carranza. And again, Carranza loses a draw for the Broncos. Blue and orange have it. Mitchell Hodges slap shot, hits a lot of sticks. And then the backhand grab by Hailey, looking like a shortstop in the cage. 2:56 on the clock. We've had 5 face-offs in the last 30 seconds of game time. Carranza will remain to take the face-off in the circle. This time he ties up with Orion Herman. Hodges, high slot, left side. Carranza, near side half boards, taken away and slung back by Herman. Hodges going to pinch and get the puck far side to Pinsky. Pinsky sends one on net. Kick save by Hailey. Jones on net. No, not on net. Off the boards. And then Carranza tried to whittle it away from Jones. And for his efforts and annoying the tender, Ross Jewell will give him a piece of his mind. Carranza lightly taps him on the head with his stick and heads to the bench. After a pretty long shift for that Boise State second line. It'll be Truex this time taking the draw for Boise State, but it'll be the same result. No, this time they actually do end up with it. Montana State had it for just a moment. Truex taking to the ice and then loses the puck. Flipped forward. Onside. No, not onside, but it was a save anyways by Kyler Ayers on the backhand attempt that Ryan Padden will come over and give him a congratulations for. Thought that play may have been onside, but it was not, as the puck came over the line after the skates and stick of Padden. Benson gets it on the half boards, high slot, Truex, and it's yet again turned away off into the corner by Hailey. He has had to do a lot here in the second to keep this score where it is. Kuna gets in the way of a pass, importantly, as Truex is offsides there. Broman actually the one offsides, but Truex was the one who carried it into the zone. So that's why we got the whistle. It's a face-off with a minute and 33 seconds here in the second period. It feels like it's been an extremely long period, but yet maybe a little bit less action-packed than the first. Valerie Dietz keeps it in. Stinson near side in the shadow of the boards. Diving attempt to break up the play by Grant Eppel yet again. That's the second time we've seen him do that. That one actually came off the skate of the referee, and it was an extremely favorable bounce for Boise State, but in the end, they weren't able to corral it. As Fedrea finishes a check here close to us on the near side, but the puck at the moment at the left point. Wrist shot comes in. Traffic in front blocks it away. I believe Ayers may have actually made a save on that as well. Fedrea disrupts a Bobcat from getting the puck. Stinson with it. Sends it out just far enough so that it won't be icing. 30 seconds left in the first period. Stinson going over to check Davis. Captain of the Bobcats can't get it out. Valerie Dietz skates with it, moves up, trying to send one in front. Does indeed send one in front. Davis sticks, breaks it up. 20 seconds now in the period. Carranza behind the cage. Carranza turns back in Gretzky's office. Drops one for Pinsky that doesn't come off. See how the Bobcats want to play this with 10 seconds left. Certainly don't want to give up a goal. Neither side wants to give up a goal. 5 seconds remaining. Slap shot. Misses everything, including the glove of Ayers. It's slapped back down in, and time goes here in the second. So Brandon Benson's tripping penalty, the game changer here in period number 2, It allowed Zach Lane to pick up his second goal of the game on the power play. And we're all tied at 3 as we head to the third period. Keep it right here. We'll be back in just about 20 minutes. You're watching Bronco Hockey on YouTube. Welcome back here to Campion Ice House, Hailey, Idaho, the city for the Bronco first of 2 home matches this weekend, and the one and only here in Hailey before Boise State takes on these Bobcats of Montana State tomorrow at CenturyLink Arena in downtown Boise, 12:30 p.m. puck drop. Actually, I believe they pushed it back to 1, but tonight the Broncos and the Bobcats tied at 3 here in Hailey. Boise State looking to get back over 500 and improve their record to 6-5 after going 2-2 in Mandan in the tournament at University of Mary and going 1-3 in the Broncos Showcase. In Mandan, they had a 3-1 loss to University of Mary, who they took a 5-1 beatdown from at the Broncos Showcase. Then a 7-2 victory versus Northern Colorado before a 3-2 loss against Florida Gulf Coast University. The Broncos were leading in that game in the first period 2-1 before giving up 2 goals back-to-back in the second, and neither team scored in the third. And then they had a 6-3 win over Eastern Washington. The puck is dropped. We are underway here in the third and final period from Campion Ice House in Hailey. Broncos have the puck near side. It's with Michael Carranza. Carranza's shot misses the net. Sven Marnes will pinch and go for it for Boise State. Carranza now behind the net. Bumped off the puck and held to the boards is Carranza. Carlson slings one out to center ice. Eric Pinsky whiffs on the puck. Now Jones collects it, banks it away. Bobcats moving. Hodges over to Marnes. Marnes' pass blocked. Bobcats keep it in the zone. Patent shot blocked away by Justin Jones of Boise State. It's behind the cage. As Sven Marnes will chase it down, Eric Pinsky will actually collect it. Eric Pinsky pinned to the boards by Zach Lane, but Boise State manages to skate it out. Truex was expecting a pass. Now it comes, and Benson chops it forward into the zone. 18:45 on the clock here in period number 3. Knotted up at threes. It was Zach Lane's power play goal that tied things back up with 9:15 on the clock in the second period. Valerie Dietz behind the net. Goes out to Jewel. Jewel, wrist shot well wide of everything. Never even had an opportunity to get that on net. Truex dumps it up and out as it banks around and goes behind the net. One-handed forward, now lugged by the Bobcats before sent back out to the blue line by Boise State. Jewel rifles one forward. Here comes Paris. Paris keeps. Paris sends one across the ice that Kyler Ayers barely manages to stone away. 17:45 on the clock of a 3-3 game here in Hailey. Thomas Poland behind his own net. Alexander back to Stinson. Stinson and Alexander. It's chipped in and covered by the goalkeeper, Patrick Hailey. We'll get our only second face-off of the third period. 17:29 on the clock here in the third. Shot comes in from the left point. It was Sven Marnes missing everything as it comes back down here on the near side. Marnes dishes off to Raleigh Kuna. Kuna sent forward. Kendall Olson picks it up. Haven't said his name much. He's bumped off the puck by Herman. Skating with it is Jim Steelstad. Dumping it now. Kyler Ayers out of the crease. Stops it up. Sven Marnes. Forward Garrett Fitzgerald. Here come the Broncos with Kendall Olson lugging through center ice. Sends one into the zone on the net. Stopped by the pad and sticked away by Hailey of MSU. Big collision. Hodges on the receiving end of 2 hits there as it caroms around the boards to Dietz. Face-off circle, active stick of Eric Pinsky stops a good shooting opportunity for the Bobcats. Banked ahead, Valerie Dietz cuts it out. Sent into the zone, banks around. Jones has an opportunity, slap shot off the pad. And won't go. Pinsky takes it, hits it off the side netting. It rattled the water bottle. It's out in front yet again. Here comes Mitchell Hodges. Near side corner. Broncos come away with it. They feather one across the crease that doesn't come off. Carlson now behind the net. Forecheck by Pinsky. Carranza there as well. Jones slides his stick over the puck. 2-on-3 as it's chipped in. Big collision. Dustin Truex laying the body and nearly getting the puck in center field. At center ice, 15:35 on the clock here in period number 3. Brandon Benson dumps in. Hailey out of the Bobcat net, stops, thinks about it, then plays it, ringing it around the board. Sven Marnes through traffic. It was deflected and went wide. Hailey yet again out of position on a deflection, but Broncos can't manage to hit the net. Thomas Poland yanks one through. It's icing, even though Hailey came out and played it. So it's icing on the Broncos. 15:07 remaining here in period number 3. Shots on goal well in favor of Boise State at this point. 29-17 in a 3-3 game here at Campion Ice House. And now we're getting some deference between the referee and the coach at the MSU bench, trying to decide where in the world this faceoff should be taking place. And center ice is the locale that they'll decide on. Truex versus the captain, Paris. And Truex wins the draw. Back to the Bronco defensive zone. Marnes to Poland in front of the net, now behind the net, the other way. Broman to Truex. Truex tape to tape to Benson, who gets tripped up. Truex stops up, backhand at the blue line, and then gets it in. Broman will just be shielded away from getting the puck. Montana State has it, skating forward. Alexander tied up there. Great defense by Ross Jewell. Shot in on Kyler Ayers. He pokes it away. He has to face a rebound as well. A rebound he created. Shot comes in, it's blocked, a great play, and I believe the stick of Poland blocked that or the stick of Ayers just saved the goal for Boise State. Rifled across the crease, it stays in right point, shot comes through traffic, and it sneaks in past Ayers. It's a stickless Bobcat, and I believe it's number 15, Britt Cornier, who just broke our tie. It is indeed Britt Cornier. The shot from the right point from Ryan Paris, finding the traffic and the stick out in front of Britt Cornier. And it's a goal for the Bobcats, who are back in the lead here with 14:10 on the clock in the third. Face-off out at center, won by Boise State. Valerie Dietz sends it in. It's rolling up on its side, where both 93s will meet, Jones and Jewell. Near side half boards, Eric Pinsky steps through a man and then is clobbered up against the boards. Puck spinning on its edge. Pinsky, right wing, drops off to Carranza, back to Pinsky. Pinsky tries to just send it towards the net. Dietz one-timer, and Hailey was ready for it. Pinsky was fighting through Herman to try to get position to put in a rebound. With 13:28, the cover leads to an offensive zone faceoff for Boise State. There are kids sprinting around everywhere out in the stands. And, of course, both teams sprinting out on the ice. Broncos now especially. Here comes Ryan Padden. Ryan Padden leaves it nicely, I may add. Number 30 can't get the shot off. Here comes Benson. Brandon Benson of Boise State, left wing, slaps one off the leg. Out in front, 6 tied up. It was Broman who had his stick tied up by number 30 of Montana State. Truex wanted the one-timer. Instead, it went to Dietz. Out of the zone. Poke checked there by Carlson. As Dietz skates back around behind. Somehow manages to carry one off the boards over the head of the referee out to center ice. Broman. Check delivered there by Hodges, and he'll toe drag it, keep the puck. Near side boards, Brandon Benson, retreating behind his net. Puck behind the Boise State cage, now out on the Boise State half boards. Truex with the stick lift, nearly got the puck. Good opportunity for Carlson if he can turn it. He cannot. Has to turn back into the corner on the far side before Truex strips him of the puck and skates towards center ice. Oh, Truex so nice on the puck. Here comes Benson. Benson tries to dangle between his legs, but just gets checked for his efforts instead. Flip to center, where Pullen will yank one to Stinson, who had just come off the bench. Brought in. Shot goes wide. That was Garrett Nash taking that attempt for the blue and gold. Benson finishes his check. He ends up on the ice. Stinson now pinned to the boards. Right point. Shot again goes wide. That was Davis who sent it wide. Pullen turns one around. Stinson can't get there. It's Davis's stick instead first as he retreats into the Montana State defensive zone. Broncos on the forecheck. Nearly managed to get an opportunity. Sven Marnes keeps retreating and now finally gathers and sends it back down behind the cage where Hailey will step out of his net, play it for Montana State. Stinson tried to stop it, did enough to get it to Alexander, whose shot was blocked by a stick. Tape to tape as it's a 3-on-2 in favor of Montana State. Pierce, the captain, held by Sven Marnes. Kendall Olson comes to assist as well. Out in front, Kyler Ayers stops it just barely under that right pad. Nearly gave up a 5-hole goal yet again here in this game. 10:44 on the clock. Montana State looking threatening. It's Carranza versus Pierce. And Pierce wins the draw. A huge hit to the head of Jones. The arm of the referee is up. That'll be a penalty. Will be another major is the question. Now Carranza slammed into the boards. He's down. This could get ugly, folks. Carranza hit very hard into the boards. Carranza is down on the ice, motionless. That, again, another dirty hit from Montana State. I would imagine we'll be seeing 2 penalties here. An elbowing call for sure, most likely a minor. Could be a major as the trainer's going to come out on the ice. We're going to step away, folks. We'll be back in just a few moments. Keep it here. You're watching Bronco Hockey on YouTube. Okay, folks, welcome back. Michael Carranza was just helped off the ice over on the near side. You can see him here on the far side of your shot. He's being helped off as that door comes open. Carranza is being helped back to the locker room. Meanwhile, some penalties to dish out. So Grant Eppel, the 5-minute major for boarding, also throw in there a game misconduct. He has now been dismissed from the Bobcat bench. That is the second game misconduct on the Bobcats. Lance Matheson for the hit on Griffin Ames that sent Ames to the locker room with a concussion. Ames out for the remainder of this match. Most likely will miss tomorrow's game as well. And now Grant Eppel being sent to the locker room for a major game misconduct, boarding. It's also a 5-on-3 power play for Boise State where Eric Pinsky will take the draw because of the penalty to Ross Jewell, who elbowed Truex in the head earlier in that play. So 5-on-3 for Boise State. Great opportunity for them to tie the game up. Of course, concerned about the health of Carranza. Good to see him be able to get to his feet as Pinsky has the puck right face-off circle. Now Benson, Truex lining up a one-timer. Truex's one-timer into the catching glove of Patrick Hailey. And we'll get a stoppage with 10:04 on the clock. So 1:34 on the power play from Jewell that makes it a 5-on-3. Then after that ends, or the Broncos score, there will be whatever is left on the 5-minute major assessed to Eppel. Pinsky has it at his feet. One act to Truex, left point. Dustin Truex slides to Benson. Benson mistouches it. It was clapped by the stick of Truex, but it still goes all the way down the ice. Center ice, Caleb Stinson feeds one off to Jones. 5-on-3, Broncos should be dangerous on the rush. Instead, they want to set up in the zone. Justin Jones. Dustin Truex, center ice at the point. Eric Pinsky, right point, just in front of the blue line. Truex mishandled that there. Jones slides it over to the near side to Benson. Benson, fans on the pass. Benson having a tough to go of things tonight. He'll get it back, though, from Pinsky. He'll take this shot, knocked out of the sky by the catching glove of Hailey. Pinsky, frustrated that he wasn't able to keep it in, will skate down and collect it after Kyler Ayers comes out of the net to play it. 9:05 on the clock, 30 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Broman wasn't really expecting the pass, and so that may end the Boise State 5-on-3. No, it's kept in just barely. Here on the near side, Pinsky walks away with it. Pinsky high slot. Pinsky wrist shot misses the net. The rebound comes out. Pinsky catches it, and we're going to get a stoppage because the net was knocked off its moorings. It was number 30 and Patrick Hailey who crashed into each other and took the net off. Pinsky had a golden opportunity to take a shot and score the tying goal with 8:45 remaining. That one's going to be tough to swallow for Boise State. But they'll win the face-off and try to score with 10 seconds remaining on their first power play. Instead, they're going to give up a short-handed breakaway. Here comes Padden. Padden is saved by Ayers. So here comes Boise State, 2 committed to the attack. Benson slowly into the zone. Shot, rebound, out in front. Jones shoots it into the chest. He's taken to the ground. Benson slings one. It's over the cage. Power play ends. 5-on-4 now. Pinsky keeps it in at the point. Blue line across to Truex. It doesn't come off. Just missed his stick. Jones drops it for Truex. Lots of action, opportunities, and offense. Broman behind the net. Dylan Broman loses the puck, fights for it back. Broncos have the numbers advantage, and they'll use it to get away with Brandon Benson having the puck. It's thrown on the net, hits the stick of Hailey before it's swung near side. Truex ends up there, sending it back in. It's rifled as far as the near side corner boards. Truex sends one out to Benson, and it's broken up by a stick. Still 2 minutes on the power play for Boise State. They still trail by a goal here in the final period with 7:30 on the clock. Eric Pinsky skating left wing. Pinsky trying to carve, does sneak through a defender, throws it off the net. It's out in front. Fadrea gets dumped. No call for interference. Kyler Ayers misses the puck. That could be a problem. As Bobcats have it, we'll see how much they commit to this. Just a wraparound attempt from Cornier. 1:35 on the power play. 7 minutes remaining. An exciting period here so far. Fedrea tries to chip it in to scramble at the line, and it's an offsides play. They'll bring it back out with 6:54 on the clock. 31 shots on goal for Boise State compared to just 22 for Montana State. But the important stat is the number of goals up on the board, and that one reads in the Bobcats' favor. Trying to see out this penalty for the last minute and 25. Pinsky center ice to Benson. Benson over the line. Loses possession for a second. Bad turnover by Benson. Here come the Bobcats muscling through. Is Lane. He's looking for a hat trick. He has 2 in this game. He jams it up against the boards. And he'll walk away with it despite the fact that 3 Broncos were there to pressure him. Here comes Justin Jones. Justin Jones over the line, leaves it for Pinsky. Pinsky left-handed shot. Far side pad, kick save. Benson one-timer into the chest. Great shot block by number 88, Oren Herman. 40 seconds on the Bronco power play. It was a 5-on-3. They had a 5-minute major. They're 1 for 3 on power plays so far in the game. Puck is slapped down the ice with 30 seconds on the power play. We just ticked under 6 here to go at Campion Ice Arena here in Hailey. And the fans have been treated to quite a game here in Hailey. The 3rd home rink of the season for the Broncos as Valerie Dietz skates it through center. He's dispossessed. Pierce nearly ending up with a breakaway for Montana State. Jewell out of the box onto the puck. Broman simply not big enough to body off the massive Jewell. The power play has expired, so that one will be in icing. It's 5:24 left here in the game. And the Broncos unable to convert on 2 straight minutes of a 5-on-3, and then 3 minutes of a 5-on-4 power play. Referees having a conference before agreeing to award the Broncos the icing face-off. It's number 23, Ryan Pierce, for Montana State, the captain in the circle, and it's won by Austin Fedrea of Boise State. Shot block. It was Mitchell Hodges who tried to send it off. Mitchell Hodges, the first line left D, after Griffin Ames was sent to the locker room in the first period after a dirty hit. Don't suppose I can call it dirty, but a game misconduct awarding hit. I suppose that does make it a dirty hit, but I didn't have a fantastic look at it. Just from the vantage point I had, it seemed unnecessary, I should say. And it resulted in Matheson's ejection from this game. Someone out there on the ice has lost a glove. It's Jewell who picks it up as the Bobcats pick up the puck through center. Lane, fantastic skating and puck control before firing a shot that's caught by Kyler Ayers. Ayers approaching 20 saves here in the game. 5:05 on the clock. Bobcats, a 1-goal lead, trying to see it out here in Hailey and spoil the Broncos' return home. They'll play another tomorrow at CenturyLink at 12:30. Here's Thomas Pullen, high slot, wrist shot blocked. Pullen will get up straight away and collect it again. Then he'll dangle through one, then he'll go to the ground. No penalty called for a trip. I believe Pullen just fell over his own skates. 4:44 on the clock exactly. Pullen forechecking. Catches the puck. And I believe we're going to have a hand pass call here. Indeed, hand pass on the Bobcats. It'll come back into their zone. Boise State will get offensive face-off. Both teams will change up the lines, take that opportunity with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock. Boise State still trying to figure out where they can get scoring from. They have 3 in the game. Of course, Eric Pinsky has done lots of scoring for the Broncos. He's on the bench at the moment. He scored 5, as I mentioned earlier, in that victory against Northern Colorado. He leads the team in goals. Broman taken down, and the puck corralled by the Bobcats behind their cage. Benson loses it, trying to stick handle. It's chipped out. Dietz will play it back, one-handed into the middle by Benson. Tape to tape. Here come the Bobcats. It's Herman. Herman, left side face-off circle. Protects the puck, goes around the zone, tries to put it out in front. It ends up out in front, and it's a goal yet again for the Bobcats. Jordan Douglas getting in on the action. Kyler Ayers looking dejected in goal, but nothing he could do as Herman took it past the end line and sent it back out in front onto the backhand of Jordan Douglas, who slotted it into the net for the 5th goal of the game for the Bobcats. And they now lead by 2 with 4:02 on the clock. And we'll see when head coach Lloyd Ayers wants to pull Kyler Ayers to try to get the attacking advantage as Boise State faces a 2-goal deficit. Saw a game a few nights ago where Carolina pulled their goaltender with nearly 4.5 left in the game, trailing by 2. Of course, Broncos just now went behind by 2, and Kyler Ayers is still standing in the net with 3:27 on the clock. That one will be an icing. Sven Marnis beating Nick Stelmack of the Bobcats to the puck, and we'll go down to the Boise State offensive zone with 3:26 on the clock. It'll be Truex in charge of winning the draw for Boise State, and he does so. Wins it to Pinsky. As, of course, with the Carranza injury, another icing. Broncos have had to change up their lines, so it's Truex, Pinsky, Jones. Truex replacing Carranza, who was taken to the locker room. We're hoping that he is okay as the Broncos win another faceoff. Mitchell Hodges skating it, shooting it, and catching it is Patrick Hailey of Montana State. For him, 31 saves on 34 shots faced, 3 goals allowed. Strong standing from him. Montana State and Boise State both played University of Mary twice this season. Of course, both teams lost to the 14-0 University of Mary. That shot goes wide from Pinsky as he spun out in the far side face-off circle. Pinsky against Carlson. Chipped over everything. Chasing it, Patton. He opened the scoring, which feels almost like a decade ago, back in the first period. 16 seconds into the game, he slid a backhander past Kyler Ayers. Now we have 2:34 left in the game, and the Bobcats are up by 2. Long stretch pass to Jones. It finds him on sides. Jones is pushed towards the corner where he keeps the puck. Skating with Broman. He just leaves it behind the net, but no Broncos were there to collect it, so the Bobcats will get it, at least temporarily, before it's fought for. Now Benson, sticked away, played more like an outfield player, comes out to the Boise State. Broman can't get a stick on it in front of the net. The fans oohing and awing. That would have gave Boise State at least a fighting chance at the moment. Herman yanks one out to center ice. It's going to bank off the boards and go down across the red, the blue, and the end line for an icing with 1:50 on the clock and Boise State trailing by 2. Boise State electing to call a timeout. I should say not Boise State, but head coach Lloyd Ayers electing to call a timeout with the Broncos trailing by 2. See Kyler Ayers over there shaking his head, slamming his water bottle down on the bench in disgust as he's let 5 past him so far in this game. Maybe a bit of an uncharacteristic game from Ayers. He's normally very strong in net. I'm certain in his mind he's allowed a couple of weak goals. But make no mistake about it, Montana State has had some fantastic shooting opportunities. And Ayers, unfortunately, hasn't been able to slide in front of them. I know he'll be frustrated with this one, but the Broncos still have a chance with 150 left to get the 2 they need. Last time Boise State was at home, it was a 5-3 loss for them as well, as they lost 5-3 against Northern Arizona on a Sunday 9 a.m. game at CenturyLink Arena, the final game of the Bronco Showcase. Puck deep in Boise State's zone at the moment. Justin Jones chasing for it. Hits the skate of Sven Marnis. We're under a minute 30 to play here in Hailey. Certain the fans are hoping for some Bronco offense, and this guy might be able to provide some. Dustin Truex behind the cage. Truex circling. His pass blocked. Minute 10. Chipped out. Montana State deciding to go for a change with the 2-goal lead instead of chase after it. Truex chips it forward to Jones. Jones stops it, drags it back, but it doesn't find Truex, just finding the stick of the Bobcat defense. Pulling forward for Pinsky. Pinsky trying to dodge a hit, can't do it, dumped in. Left side of Kyler Ayers, 45 seconds on the clock. Boise State still electing to keep Ayers in the net instead of pull him for the 6th attacker. Pinsky, far side tape to tape. D-man goes down. Pinsky's got an opportunity with Benson. He tries. No, he holds. Pinsky shoots. Chest of Hailey denies him. Right point. Kept in at the blue line just barely. Now it comes. No, it does not come out. Excuse me. It's chipped down on Ayers. 20 seconds remaining. It looks like this is going to be a Montana State victory, barring some incredible miracle here in the final 15. Now we have 10 to play. Montana State chips it in, and that will be our game. No icing. Everyone's slowing up. Brandon Benson, the last to touch it. Time has expired, and the Boise State Broncos drop another at home, 5-3 in favor of Montana State here tonight in Hailey. The Broncos fall to 5-6 on the season. Of course, the story of the night, the big penalties dished out to Grant Eppel and Lance Matheson. Griffin Ames and Michael Carranza for Boise State both go to the locker room in the 5-3 loss. Hopefully they will be okay. Boise State will be back in action tomorrow against this same team, different city, as we'll be in Boise. It's a 12:30 puck drop at CenturyLink Arena in Boise. Once again, our final score here from Hailey, 5-3. Montana State defeats the Broncos. We will be back and see you tomorrow in Boise. Thank you for tuning in. I've been Leonard Berry, and you've been watching Bronco Hockey on YouTube.